Well, hello there. This is Tim Daniels from THS Sporting Center, and hope all my bowfishing brethren have wintered well. This is my first trip of the year, being April 6th, 2021, and I'm shooting the Saginaw Bay area north of the Seaboing River. Being my first trip of the year, I sometimes enjoy getting out by myself. It's a great way to just sort of relax and just concentrate on having a fulfilling evening. Okay, so what you see right now is Volgrum 50-watt fixtures. They are a combination of 120-degree floodlights and 60-degree spotlights. These are the Gen 6s. I don't know what to call the spotlights, but nonetheless, these are all in warm white, and I don't believe any of those right now have films on them. What I'm working on right now is plugging in two 250-watt Volgrum warm whites with a amber film. I figured with the darker water early part of the year, I want to make sure I had plenty of power up front to push through some dark water to light up those fish. The light that you see on the shooting platform right now is a 10-watt Volgrum warm white, and I really like the light. And unless there's a lot of bugs, hey, it's worth having on there. You can see what you're doing. You can, again, for taking off fish, measuring them, getting a look at them, they're great. Now you can see how bright those lights are up front. I have them pointed down, again, just for the darkest of water. Most of the water this evening was fairly decent, and it wasn't all that terribly hard to see fish. So on this trip, I noticed on my first few shots that I was missing, and my arrow was coming out a little knock high. I think I might have a little bit too much line on my reel, but for whatever reason, nonetheless, I just started compensating for that on my shots, and I'll make sure I look at that before my next trip out. This is my first fish of the year. Sort of a neat thing. I like my first fish. I always like to say that's my lucky fish.
My trolling motor is a Minn Kota Altera 36 volt, and I really like using the key fob system that they have for controlling the motor. I've thought about doing one of those sexy stick, foot controller things, and I played around with one a little bit. Quite honestly, I have to improve the electronics on it, but still, nonetheless, I think it would be in the way a bit. I do see some benefits to it, but God, this is nice to be able to steer the boat from wherever I'm at. I do have an extra one that I can hand off to a person when they're up there as well, as long as they understand it and get used to it. But it's a system that's really served me well worth the money. So a little bit about the equipment that I'm using this evening. I am using my G-Rex, which is set at approximately 27.5 inches, and I am shooting 31 pounds. The reel that I'm using is the Mega Mouth, and it's I've replaced it with some 250-pound braided line. I found that if you find the right diameter and the right test, it does help out a lot. What I'm doing right there was pulling the line off the back of the arrow because it was a pass-through on that dogfish. Hey, first goldfish of the year, and It's one of my favorite things to shoot. I love shooting goldfish, and that happened to be a pretty good size one. You see how that if I spin the tip or spin the fish on the tip, it loosens the tip and allows the fish to come off and without losing the tip. And that is that AMS Anchor QT tip, or the quick turn tip from Anchor, or AMS Anchor. It's for my style of bow fishing and what I do, it is probably the best tip for me. There are lots of other types of tips out there depending on the water conditions that you're shooting and on the type of or species of fish that you're shooting. For people that don't even hit the bottom, having arrow removal is really not much of an issue at all. I've shot some rivers, and, by bridges and all that, and again, there is just no hitting the bottom. That just doesn't happen. In this type of bow fishing, in a shallow marsh style area or bay style area, your arrows are constantly getting stuck in the bottom, and you have to have a good line puller and a type of tip that can allow you to back off those barbs to allow you to pull that arrow from those root bases as well. So the shooting platform is 96 inches by 96 inches or 8 foot by 8 foot. It is half-inch MDO board, which I have painted with like an outdoor deck paint. It is sitting on top of some aluminum quad ramp material, which is about like about 9 inches on center. It's very stiff. The boards itself are holding up really well. There's a couple of spots by the ladder where the hooks come through that wood might be softening up just a little bit around there, which is sort of surprising. But nonetheless, down the line, I guess I can replace that material. The thing I like with MDO board, it's relatively light, and it is basically used in signs. Outdoor signs. It really resists weather, but this is the first time using it like this in an application for a bow fishing deck. One of the things that I found, again, seems to be a great value for what it is these 3x3 foot rubber mats. They're anti-fatigue mats. They go by several names. I happen to buy these at Menards. I think they're right around 20 bucks now. But if you're looking at standing on a deck in comfort, definitely a lot better. And I'm also wearing knee supports. I have some pretty bad knees already, and they're hard plastic with like a support gel or something like that on the inside of them. Spend a couple of bucks on those, and those are a lifesaver for me. There's no way in the world I could consistently kneel down without being in agonizing pain without the use of a knee pad like that. lights underneath the deck are all powered by batteries and an inverter. So they're a combination of 110 AC and 24 volt DC current. The lights that are on top of it right now, those two 250 watt Vulgrams, are actually powered by a generator which I have running in the back. It is a Yamaha 2300 inverter generator. I'm still using the same GoPro Hero 3 Pro that I have in videos past. It is on an 8-foot aluminum pole, which is a 1-inch square tube. I've never really measured the angle, but I guess it'd be around 15 degrees. I should have a posting of the camera specs. This angle, the shot, really does offer a good panoramic view of the fish, day or night, and it's been a favorite of mine for many years. So this is one of those shots where I keep a gaff on both sides of the boat. This is a marginal shot. It's really low in the fish. It's still hanging on. So I have these gaffs set up on each side of the boat. And what I do to have them held in place, I'm using a piece of like about 1 1/4 inch PVC. And then I cut a track down that, so it allows the hook to actually stick out from there, and you slide that down, and the PVC itself, which is like a C shape now, just allowing it again enough room for that the hook itself to stick out, is screwed to that hand railing. Very fast to deploy. You don't have to. It's been very useful for me. Neat option. I use Brute 42-gallon trash cans for my fish barrels. You can see that little plastic or rubber skirt that I have around the barrel itself. That helps guide the fish in the barrel, so you have less that shoot off in between the barrel and the deck. And when the barrel is full, I can slide it back towards the center console and really maintain a good balance to the boat. I really like this system. It has served me well, especially if you decide to shoot a lot of fish. You can really move those barrels around to adjust for people on the boat, and also your maintaining, getting up on a better plane too. this sort of seems to happen at least, a couple of times each trip. I shoot at a fish and I miss, and the thing swims around and lines up itself for another shot, and I sort of jokingly say that was the warning shot. I intentionally missed the first time, but it's nice when you hit them and they get off, and then you get a second shot at them, and just when they're on the edge of the light or trying to get away, you smoke them. Not all the fish that I shot this night are on tape, but I shot a total of like 7 goldfish this night, and there was one of them, which I think it's this one here, which was just shy of 3 pounds. It was 2.97 pounds. One of the things you see me, there's a silver line there on the deck, and that's actually a steel tape measure, and I use that to measure the length of fish sometimes. There's another scale that I have on the boat, which I use to weigh the fish, obviously. But the system that I have here works quite well. I really believe that it's worth the time and money to spend a couple of bucks and buy yourself a Lux meter. And then when your boat's on the trailer, use that to help set your lights. And I sort of establish where the water level is, and I go about 1 foot below the water level to set my lights. And I'll use folding tables around the boat to properly set and point the lights. And I found going through this extra effort, you end up with less shadows, more even light, and less, again, dark spots. It does take a lot more effort, but once you get it done, it will pay off every single time that you get out on the water. I started doing some of these little videos with just the intent of showing them inside of my store, sort of just like why people are patiently waiting. We have a couple of TVs running, and I sell sporting goods, archery and firearms, and lots of firearms. It's a way in which that I can help showcase something that I truly enjoy, and can share my excitement with people that come into the store. And there's a lot of people that find it interesting, and especially once you know that you don't have to be a great big guy or anything like that to shoot fish. You can shoot 20, 30 pounds and be just fine. Well, anyways, you guys have a damn good evening, or at least try like hell, and best to you and yours. Bye.